Game. Ref, you could have just blown the whistle.
Yeah,
Let's go,
asshole.
boy. All
Wow.
right,
What a
I'll take
game.
it. What a game. 5-0,
Clean sheet, five
clean sheet.
goals. Nico was on a
What a
hat
go.
trick for a lot of the game.
Yep. Palmer with another good game. Gallagher with a
Madueke with a
great
good game.
goal. Yeah, Madueke with a fantastic game.
Gallagher, Kukurea, Mads, Palmer, Nico, Petrovic.
Yep.
Didn't have like a ton to do, but
He made a couple good saves though.
he was good.
He he did make a
Man,
couple good
and
saves.
kudos to the player of the match, the Chelsea crossbar.
Yeah. Three
My
saves in the match
gosh.
today. Three saves.
I'm pretty sure the Chelsea crossbar had more saves than Petrovic. I'm gonna
Probably.
look this up.
Where's I don't care
Let's
about
see.
expected stuff. Where are the actual who had the assists
Yes,
today is what I'm looking for.
Petrovic had two saves. Chelsea crossbar three saves.
All
Okay,
right.
I was looking at some stats for Havertz, right?
Yeah.
FotMob is comparing his stats to other midfielders.
But he
So
plays a freaking false nine. That's not even fair.
yeah,
Like, come
yeah.
on.
I was gonna
You're
say, is it
stupid.
fair to compare him and Nico? But yeah, I think the answer is yes. It is
Yeah.
fair to compare.
Yeah. I would agree. You'll give
Um.
us stats, Jason?
Oh,
I'm
sure. Okay.
anticipating
I
these
was
stats right now.
sorry. I got a little distracted. Nico, two goals and an assist today. Palmer a
Hmm.
goal, Mads with a goal and assist, Caicedo with the assist, Silva with the assist.
Yep.
So pretty legit. Okay, so this is. Let me compare them. Just not looking at the player traits since I don't agree quite with them putting that. Um, Man, they're pretty equal in terms of. Oh, sorry, I was looking at a different stat, or I was looking at old stats. Nico has 13 goals in the Premier League this season.
That counting his two today?
Havertz has 12. Havertz has 6 assists. Nico 5. Havertz also has 10 yellow cards, so suck it. Okay, Havertz has created more chances. Has only played like 15 more minutes, but has played in more games. So Havertz has played 35 games to Nico's 31. And Havertz has created more chances, 43 to 36 for Nico. And expected assist is better. But Nico has more shots. So 59 total shots to Havertz 46. 38 on target to Havertz 27. Nico shot accuracy better. Shots per 90 better. Shots on target per 90 better. Goals per 90 marginally better.
Better.
Havertz has a little bit more assists per 90, marginally better. I'm not going to do the expected stuff. Big chances missed. Havertz 11, Nico 22.
Yeah,
And
there's the
I'll
big
just stop
stat.
right there. I would say that's why people think Havertz
Hmm.
is doing better this season because it's an eye test thing, right? Like he
Yeah.
hasn't missed as many big chances, and Nico has. So then the thing is, well, Nico's doing a lot worse when Nico is level in some of the main stats that matter.
Hmm. Well, I mean, he has more goals, and they both have contributed just as much to their teams. They both have the same goal contributions. Havertz has one more assist, and Nico has one more goal. So, but I think your point is correct there, and that Nico is because of the chances that he has missed, and the fact that he could be on a lot more goals is the reason
Mm-hmm.
that people rate Havertz over him. And I think it also plays into the fact that Havertz is on a winning team. For whatever
Exactly.
reason, it's like this in like sports in America because we have the MVP votes in all the sports, and it's not always like the best player that wins the
Mm-hmm.
award. It's usually the best player on the best team that wins the award.
Right.
So it's one of those things. It's like Havertz is playing for a better team that is challenging for the title, so people are going to naturally give him more credit. I don't agree with that. always,
Yeah.
think best players are the best player, regardless of what team they're on. Um, but yeah, I think that also plays a role into the whole debate between Nico and Havertz.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it statistically, they're pretty evenly matched. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty even debate. So
Havertz, I would say, has the edge in defense, although the stats read they're not. I mean, they're not meant to be defensive players.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not that worried about those, but Havertz is marginally better in defense, so that could
well,
also be another thing. But he's also playing a way different role than Nico's being asked to play.
hmm
Which I don't know. I guess people could make the case that Havertz is more well-rounded in that way, but also the
he
case for
is.
Nico would be this is first season in Premier League for Nico,
Yep,
and
that was the
he's
point I was
got
going to bring up.
Havertz
hmm
is seasoned Champion League winning professional,
hmm
and is still very closely matched to
Yeah.
Nico with less goals. So
hmm Yeah,
same
and that,
amount
that
of
was the point I was going.
contributions, but less goals.
Yeah, that was the point I was going to bring up. Is that that's what people also don't take into account for that Havertz. This is his fourth year in the Premier League. This is Nico's first.
Yeah,
So
on the number
and
one
Nico's
ranked team
younger,
in the Premier League,
right?
when Nico
Yes,
is on the
exactly.
seventh ranked team. So
Right. So I think you got to, and that's the thing is like when you take in all the factors, like you really start seeing the upside of Nico and the fact
mm-hmm.
that that intangibles are there
Yes,
and like the things he's doing, he's getting better at and he has all season. And that's why I'm not a fan of going out and spending 100 million on a striker when you have Nkuku coming back next year. You've got Nico,
yes,
you've got Palmer. That should get you, I mean, between those three, that should be 30. No. Let's see. Palmer scores 15, 30. I would say between 40 and 45 goals just between those three people next
yeah,
year.
yeah,
And then you just got to get, and then you've got Madueke, who is going to, if he starts and stays healthy, he's going to get you 10 to 15 goals next year. Then you're going to have the contributions from your defenders to get goals randomly. Don't really have, I
Gallagher
mean,
can get in there.
if Gallagher's here next year, yes. So I think like, and that's my point
It
is
would be
like, I
so
just don't,
dumb to sell him,
it
but
would
that's a good
be,
point.
but
That's a good point.
yeah. I mean, but my point is like in all this is like I just don't see the point still in spending 100 million or 80 million on a striker. I mean, did you see the rumor yesterday about what we're going to give up for Oshiman?
Yeah, yeah,
Like the
that
80 to 90 million plus Lukaku, which I don't have the problem with, plus a youngster. Why?
yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why? It's so stupid. It's the
Well,
stupidest thing.
and to talk like go back to what we were talking about earlier in the match because this is now a 2 hour thing, right? Like so
Yeah.
that was way earlier in the match that we were talking about how this team is gelling now and how Poch has finally found a way to make them gel and to
hmm
work with what we have and to get these players in positions for them to be successful. And we were kind of bemoaning the fact that Poch took all season to figure it out.
hmm
But at the same time, like, why would you bring in another high profile signing like that? And that's just going to relegate Nico to the bench
hmm
when
Yeah.
you just made the point that with him and Nkuku and Palmer, and then add in the other bit players of the team that can, in goal scoring terms, like, why
hmm
would you interrupt that when we are cooking right now? So I don't know,
Yeah.
man. That's going to be really frustrating if that happens.
It
And
is.
I'd rather, and it's like you and I were talking about several episodes ago, where what does the team look like next season, even without
hmm
signings? And our back line's completely different. If we keep
It's completely different.
who we should keep, but with Colwell, Fafana, and James all coming back from injury,
hmm
Silva's leaving. Like we have a different back line, and I would want to, like you said earlier in the match when we were talking about Kukurea, buy another left back option, like because that's where we need somebody.
Yeah. hmm
Um, Probably the most, and then I don't know, keeper probably as well. But
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like we need a center back, a left back, and a keeper if we're being
yeah,
realistic. Could we make it another year? If we bought a good defender, could we make another year with Petrovic in goal? Probably. Um,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then the next year you can buy your keeper. Um, so I mean, I think you've got options, but I just don't like if you go out and spend 100 million on a striker, you can't shore up the rest of your team without selling off your
Yeah.
own academy players, which is what we're going to do. Like, it's not going to surprise me if we sell Amari Hutchinson after the year he's had. Because we keep buying freaking right wingers. We have like five right wingers, especially if we get this new guy. I don't remember his name. That we've been linked to now. It's like five or six right wingers,
Oh yeah.
which is just bananas. So you're gonna have to sell off your homegrown people because you're buying all these other youngsters. Which just doesn't make any sense. And then you're gonna sell Gallagher and Chalaba to fund all of this, which
Yeah.
is just I don't agree with. Like, so I don't know. And I just think it's a bad way to do business whenever I think you're literally a defender and a left back and a goalkeeper away from having a team that can compete for top four. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think I completely agree with you, and I'll add that we've stumbled into something at the end of the season
mhm,
with Potch and with the team that we have that Bowley and them are going to take full credit for, and
you're so
and
right.
I don't think it's deserved because they went and willy nilly bought like what they're rumored to be doing this season, and
Hmm.
they just went and bought and bought and bought and bought and hoped that it would work out. And I'm not going to say it's been completely successful, but they've gotten like some progress out of this in spite of an admin strategy and in spite of coaching.
Yep.
And why would you ruin that? And why would you ruin the goodwill? And why would you ruin the progress? And why would you ruin the locker room mentality? I mean, they're probably pumped in that locker room right now, as they should be.
Hmm.
Why would you throw all of that away just to go spend more money on things that are going to disrupt it? So
Yep. Exactly.
I
And
think
that's the
that
thing. It's like
that's just foolish.
yeah, and you talked about it, I know during the match about how the team seems to be gelling more so now than they, have been. So it's one of those things like bringing more players, then you have to re-gel, you have to get that chemistry with the new players, and that takes time. And apparently the preseason doesn't work for us, in helping us gel.
God,
So,
man, for real.
um, but yeah, I don't know. Next year is going to be interesting, and I think I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why people want a striker when Nico Grant. I mean, I think Drogba had 10 goals in his first season in the Premier League.
Yep.
So it's like Nico's done that, and you would argue probably the competition is better now than it was when Drogba first came in. And nobody's going to say Nico's on the level of Drogba. Drogba's clear of Nico. So the point making that comparison is that Drogba struggled when he came into the Premier League, and if Drogba struggled and Nico has outproduced him in his first year,
Yeah.
why not at least give Nico another year, like to
Yeah.
see what he can do leading the line? Um, and I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I just want to see this team not go out and just be stupid in this window where we have to sell key assets to get more players. Like,
Exactly.
honestly, if we just bought one center back, I would probably be happy in this window. Like, I'm okay with
Same.
chilling another year with Chilwell and Kukurea at left back, and you know uh, Petrovic in goal. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If it means we don't go out and just blow, if that means we get to keep Gallagher and Chalaba,
Yes.
like you just go by, and I mean, who knows? And that's like you said, like next year's so uncertain. Fofana's coming back next year. Colwell was doing fantastic at left center back before he got injured recently. He was finally starting to be that center back that we thought he could be.
Yeah.
So you might have your center back pairing in the future. We just don't know because neither one of them can stay healthy. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
and James will be back, and you got Gusto as a backup. So I don't know, man. I just don't see the point in going out and spending ridiculous amounts of money this off season, other than a couple of positions.
Yeah.
So
But this
I
is
just
what
don't
they were
get.
supposed to be setting themselves up for. Like spend all the money up front,
Mm-hmm.
and then ride a wave of progress to success,
Yep.
and we have some progress this season. I think that it would be like unfair of us to say that there has not been progress like
Yes.
from this team from the beginning to now. And like
Hmm.
this is a very different conversation during the Arsenal match.
Yeah.
And this is what we've been hoping for this team all season is to bounce back from something like that and do
Hmm.
that from like game to game and even do that from half to half. And I would
Yes.
say they've showed a lot of fight and a lot of heart and a lot of spirit and like whatever has happened and however this has changed and maybe the 11 game or 12 game streak that we pretty much had like outside
Hmm.
of the Arsenal
The
loss
Arsenal match. Yep.
and the Man City Cup loss, like outside of those where you're losing to the top two teams in the Premier League right
Right.
now, and you
Hmm.
don't lose a bad game to City. We just did what we do normally do and kind of switch off for a bit, and we let
Yep.
them win that because we were in that game for a bit. The Arsenal
Hmm.
loss is one of the worst that we've probably ever
That's the
experienced.
one that is the kicker in all of this is
Yeah,
that Arsenal loss. So that's the
but the aftermath of that loss
thing. Hmm.
has been good.
Hmm.
And I think whatever has happened to the team in the aftermath of that loss, because we've been waiting for that all season. It's like, oh, will this be the wake up call? Oh, will this win be the wake up call? So I think that I've been impressed the past two games at the reaction to the Arsenal loss.
Hmm.
And this is why I didn't really think about the whole penalty kerfuffle that
Yep.
Mads and I mean, basically, have four players were involved in that with
Yep.
Mads and Nico and Palmer and Gallagher. Like,
Yep.
and everybody tried to make a big deal out about that, and all the pundits and all the commentary and all the tabloids or whatever tried to like turn that into something. And Chelsea fans went nuts and a bunch of racist assholes and like trying to sell Nico because of that. And it's like,
Yep.
look at them now and like realize that that wasn't a big deal and because they
Hmm.
are gelling better now. So these narratives that have like kind of followed us through the season, or like come up here or there that people want to pick apart, I think you have to hand it to the team and you have to hand it to Poch in some ways that they were able to bounce back from Arsenal and they were able to bounce back from this negative press that's kind of surrounded the team in that stretch of 5 games or so there,
Yep.
like several weeks ago, and they've bounced back and they've showed heart. And I don't know, I'm proud of them. This is one of the first times after the Tottenham match. I didn't even get to watch the Tottenham match. After the Tottenham match, I was proud of them and impressed. Then I think I sent you a message. It was like, hey, I'm kind of
Hmm.
impressed, and I'm even more impressed at this performance today. And I just am I'm finally proud of the team this season. And I'll say that because
Yeah.
I've been very vocal about how I have not enjoyed watching this team. It's been one of my least favorite teams to watch.
Hmm.
And I'm now seeing them kind of come into their own, and they're worthy of praise right now. So well done.
Yep. For sure. They definitely have. They have definitely made the end of the end to this season is so much more enjoyable than into last season because last season was like
Huge.
one of the most depressing things ever, and then this year has
Yeah.
actually been it's been fun to watch this team grow over the last few weeks. And I think like we have lost, I think since February, since the middle of February, we've lost one Premier League game, and that was to Arsenal. Like that's a
Yeah.
hell of a run when you look at it with this team. Like, were there some draws in there that we probably should have won? Most definitely, and those are
Yeah.
probably the thing that's gonna. If we don't make it to Europe next year, those are the couple games we'll look back on and be like, we should have taken points from those matches.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, we still haven't lost. I mean, because outside of the Arsenal match and
Right.
the way we responded from the Arsenal match in drawing 2-2 with Villa and then beating Tottenham 2-0 and then winning 5-0 today, two clean sheets in a row is a big deal for me. So that's, and then we got Nottingham Forest next weekend, which is not going to be a fun match. They're battling relegation. We're battling for the esteemed, prestigious Conference League. So, you know,
It's where we
well,
are.
that's where we are. But thank you to all the 0.00 people that joined us on the live stream today. I don't know how many of these we will have for the rest of the year, but yeah, I know that we do look forward to. We're still going to have podcasts every week. I don't know what we're going to do this week because I feel like we don't need to. I guess we'll do a West Ham match review. It'll be quick,
It needs to be
because
quick. Yeah.
we're talking about it now. So
Yeah.
I'll probably cut this up and put some stuff out, clips from this to make it
Yeah.
more, so that way we don't have to, because I feel like, whatever. But hey, 5-0 win today. Anything else you want to add, Jason, to this?
Yeah, man. I think I said it all. I'm proud. I'm finally proud this season to be a Chelsea fan.
It don't
So
it only took us
took
how
this
many
long.
matches this year? 30. What are we at? 34, 35
We
35
got
matches
3
now.
left. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
it took this
35.
long. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Jason, for I guess for when I chop this up, do you want to tell people where they can find us on the interwebs?
Yeah, we are at Red White Blues FC. If you are finding us not on YouTube because nobody did, no, I'm just kidding. We're on YouTube. We're trying things. We're some elder
Yeah,
millennials here, so we're figuring it out. We're on
we're
X. We're
figuring it
on
out.
Substack. Daniel does amazing match reviews on there in written form, and if you want to banter with us on the X, we're amassing a pretty decent little following on there, thanks to you, Daniel.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we're at all those 3 places. I mean, if you come to our channel and you see things, I guess
Yeah.
I'll do the like and subscribe thing. So whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, just interact with us or whatever. I mean, we
Yeah.
do this because we love it, and we do this because we love each
Yeah.
other. So
We ain't doing it for the money, that's for sure.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's not the
Yeah.
goal, but that would be a nice bonus.
Yes, it would be a nice bonus.
So,
So like and subscribe.
but I mean, we clearly did this for 2.5 hours with no followers. So that's. I mean, I had a
Yeah,
good time. That's pretty fun.
I did too. Well, I mean, like we watched the matches together anyway, so I might as well live stream it.
Might as well live stream it. But
But
yeah,
yeah.
anyway, at Red White Blues FC on those
Mhm.
3 platforms.
And Instagram. Don't forget Instagram. We're amassing a nice little following on Instagram with our clips that
I need to
I've
get
been
used to the Instagram
that we
thing.
yeah. We're getting some followers on there, so but yeah, check us out wherever this isn't a podcast. So just like and subscribe to the video. And until our next live stream, until our next podcast video comes out, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Hey man, 5-0 flippity floppity. What the hell?